Everyone, welcome to Space Marine Shore to Shore, and this is
Art Tracer.
nice to meet you, Art Tracer.
Thank you.
And today we are launching a very audacious project where we're going to talk about the truth and see how long it takes to get banned. But we hope not to get banned. God is with us. So this is a show about aliens and drugs and Torah and COVID and the Ukraine invasion, which is caused by aliens and drugs. What are your thoughts, Art Tracer?
Well, where do we get started? I mean, the COVID conspiracies, or you know, the Ukraine stuff, which is a lot more in our face right now, where Russia kind of comes in and looks like they're about to attack, and then they just say, "Oh no, we're gonna go home. Well, maybe we'll be back later."
Yeah. By the way, I know other videos put a disclaimer. This is not real. This is a figment of your imagination. I'm not using any nicotine on this show.
Yeah.
You don't see anything.
It's a prop.
It's all in your head. All right. We're within regulation. So yeah, the Ukraine. I mean, I hope they don't get invaded.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds like it makes a lot of money though to get invaded. So, but I'm praying for them, praying for the Ukraine. I think Russia just needs to stay in their own territory. I think if I was president, and hopefully one day I will be elected president, I would threaten to drop like 10,000 nuclear weapons on every Russian square mile, even the uninhabited areas. So that's if we had a real president, Ukraine would not get invaded. Just be like, I'm gonna deploy the nukes. So that's my thoughts on that. I see no one is watching, but someone might watch in the future. This is a saved live stream.
Yeah.
Let me enable the comments if there are. How does this work? Comments will come in once we get a viewer.
Yeah,
which might not happen.
Maybe one day we'll have emojis.
So today I'm going to talk about the whole world is controlled by God. No one even knows this anymore. Besides all the people that do. So people need to pray to God more and apply some Torah. In fact, I'm going to read a little Torah right now. Now we're going to get back to the aliens. By the way, there are aliens in the Torah. It's actually documented. Everything in the whole universe is documented in the Torah. So people that are like, oh, what's the meaning of life? You got to read the Torah. Or if you're from if you're not Jewish, you should learn the Torah if you want to know what's going on.
Amen.
The beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord, and knowledge of holy matters by holy men is understanding. So yes, you must fear God. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom in two ways. One, if fear of sins is prior to one's wisdom, the wisdom endures. Two, fear of God is like a treasure vault that preserves one's wisdom. The Midrash says, you see a man studying the laws of the halakha and the conceptual matters of Agada, but if there is no fear of God in him, he has nothing. Compared to a man who said to his friend, I own 1,000 measures of wheat, 1,000 measures of wine, and 1,000 measures of oil. The others replied, if you have storage vaults for keeping them, all these possessions are yours, but if not, then you own nothing. The same obtains for the student who is told, if there is fear of God in you, everything you study is yours, as it says, fear of the Lord is his treasure vault. Yes, fear God. Fear him.
It's the beginning of wisdom.
Yes, because God created everything, even the show, even your computer, even you, and everything. All right, so that's the sponsor for today's God. That's the advert. And should we talk about drugs or aliens?
I guess we can start with aliens.
Well, when people take DMT, they see aliens. They break through the dimension into interdimensional space, and so their drugs and aliens are deeply related.
Yep. So,
what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't think I've ever taken enough hallucinogenics to actually see aliens, but
I have.
Yes,
That's why I'm Space Marine.
Yep. So, but if they're around and they come here, well, that's some scary stuff right there.
Yeah, they could break through the dimension. You got to be careful and pray to God, because otherwise aliens will overcome your dimension.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a lot about dimensions on this show. I see no one is watching still.
Yeah.
But that happens. I'm going to test if it even works if I watch myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, show that there's one viewer. Okay, I did it for 1 second. I'm gonna test if it even works if I watch it. Seeing isn't showing anything. It says, well, it's not showing anything.
Maybe there are people watching this and it's just not showing.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe we're being censored to oblivion. Maybe we've gone too far by talking about drugs and aliens in the Torah.
Yeah.
And all right, so the world today. We're gonna talk about serious topics too, like inflation and COVID. I wish I had a mask right here just to show how masks don't work, and I could prove it.
Yeah, you just like.
I'll have to do that.
This is a mask these days,
Yeah, but people won't believe unless I use an actual mask.
And if you don't do this, like you go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like on the airplane, they were like, she's like, I'm gonna call the police on you because I was like trying to hide. I was like hiding like this. I was like, I don't want to wear the mask. And she's like, I'm gonna call the police. It's like they get such a power throw, these people.
Yeah, they know that like if you're in the air, they can throw you in prison for a long time. Just for like, just for the most minor, infraction. Like.
Yeah, I mean, they were so obsessed with the mask thing. They didn't notice I was smoking on the whole flight. Like they're just so geared into it. Like I was literally smoking on the whole 6-hour flight. Yeah. And no, but the mask. The mask is what's important. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, well, a lot of good it's done, right?
And by the way, everything in the show is fictional, and it's just for show. It's like like every movie. Yeah. Every movie, they get to do and say whatever they want. So everything's fictional. It's a figment of your imagination. You might be asleep right now. You might not even be alive. You might not even be from this planet. It might be a simulation. Actually, no. I mean, it's all in the Torah. It's not true. There's reality, and then there's unreality. Still, no one is watching. But it didn't work when I, was watching myself. So maybe it is working. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I even said hey to myself, and it didn't work. Nothing came through.
But
is this like recording? What does that do? I don't really care. I know it records already. So I wonder if anyone is watching though. I think people are watching. This is BS. Like there could be people watching based on my test.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know.
We can ask them to type something in the chat.
I don't know if that will even work. I typed something in the chat and it didn't work. Oh. So I guess we're being censored. The chat room might not work. The Chinese are censoring us. The communists. It's not the Chinese. It's the Americans. I can't blame any other country for this BS. Yeah, freedom of speech. I've been praying for the convoy from the Super Bowl to DC, but I guess they got bombed by stealth bombers. Then the NSA locked them in Alcatraz because it was supposed to start at the Super Bowl, according to the news. It probably did. They probably got abducted.
Yeah, did you see in Canada the government gave themselves the right to basically seize your bank accounts, if you're involved in that, or at least shut down the account so you can't access your money. So, and I've even heard rumors that cops were going on private property and destroying private property. So there are protesters out there, but the cops in Canada became the looters, because they're trying to get the protesters to stop. So they go to their homes and break their stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So yeah, Canada just enacted the Emergency Powers Act for the first time, which means they could selectively issue martial law upon any person. And Canada, they've always been more communist. Now it's not paying dividends at this point. Communism doesn't work. I'm all for Americanism and democracy and not letting Biden literally said if Ukraine gets invaded, we're not going to send any troops or fight them. It's like saying, hey, yeah, just invade them. We're just going to yell at you on the news as if Putin even cares about that. But yeah, we could be looking at the first war in a long time. but not really. It's been constant world, the war of fascism and totalitarianism. And yeah, yep. What do you have any topics? Art. What's your name? Art. Art.
Yes, that is my name.
Art.
I'm glad we got to know each
What's
other.
your last name?
Tracer.
Where'd you come from?
I came out of a storybook.
Oh man, I was smoking too much DMT.
Well, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad for
Yeah.
reality.
Maybe I'll see those aliens sometime soon.
Well, hopefully not. Aliens are kind of freaky. I've seen them. I've seen the aliens. That's the truth. People think aliens are from far away, but actually the dimensions are all like stacked on each other. So if you break through the dimensional barrier, the aliens are right here. So aliens are right there with you. They're with us. But there are dimensions separating us because God is merciful and He doesn't want the aliens to like terrorize us. But so that's the
Well, it must be awkward, like if you wake up and they're just like right there in your face,
I've had that happen.
Yeah,
it's like
that's insane.
Aliens. I mean,
yeah.
I bet their society's a lot better than ours, though. So we can't talk down on the aliens. They probably don't make everyone wear a mask for COVID because they're above that level.
I don't know if
they're
I don't know if the COVID virus is smoking something and then breaking the barriers, and then attacking the aliens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, COVID, aliens. Yeah. Let's see. People are seeing this, and I think they're just not giving us any data because we didn't pay for this plan. They're just like.
I don't know if we can say the V word. Like if YouTube's listening in on it and gonna ban us if we.
The what word?
The V word.
Like the female.
Inoculation.
Oh, the vaccine.
Oh no, you said it.
Everything on the show is fictional. Let's make a disclaimer. It's all a figment of someone's imagination. Yeah. And the vaccine is from the aliens. Flat out. They took too much drugs, and then they gave it to the Nazis, and the Nazis they're trying to kill everyone. So hopefully, this is all. It's just like Caddyshack or Happy Gilmore. It's like The Matrix. It's like Goodfellas. This is a movie. It's like everything is fictional. So I can say whatever I want. I will protect myself with the First Amendment. And whatever happened to the First Amendment, the country.
They're basically, rather than the government making laws, they realize that they can just tell large corporations that are intertwined with the politicians. They can just say, oh, you'll ban them for us because we're not allowed to do it. And so, these large
companies, like YouTube and Twitter's a sovereign state, but it's not, it's bullshit.
And in the Biden administration, from the bully pulpit, they'll say that they'll sit there and they'll say, oh yeah, we want Twitter to start banning these people and this and doing that. So they don't even make any bones about it. They're like, oh, we're glad that GoFundMe got canceled for the truckers or whatever. Like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're basically rooting on for private corporations to destroy our rights. So
yeah, but the good news is if we pray to God, we don't have to worry about any of this. This is true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad stuff to fixate on, but we don't have to be so negative because it's all if someone wants to be fixated on the negativity, they'll be affected by it. But God is more powerful than anything. He's way more powerful than even the entire United States. It's not even comparable. The entire United States and the whole world, let's say all the power of the whole world is nothing. It's not even a micron of God's power. So if you're with God, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. You can just keep on living, worshiping and praying to God and serving Him, spreading light in the world. So that's the key, So it's not good to. There's so much bad stuff to talk about, and we will talk about it. But no, don't worry about it. Even if Ukraine gets invaded and there's a nuclear war and the vaccines kill everyone and people suffocate from the mass, we don't have to worry about that because if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. God forbid.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're alive though. I mean, we both had COVID. Me, and the co-host Art. What's your last name again?
Tracer.
Art Tracer.
I
Wait,
had the coof twice.
I almost died from it, so I know it's real. I'm not saying COVID's a conspiracy because,
Well,
yeah, I almost died. I didn't wear my mask.
Well, it's not a
I didn't take the
conspiracy.
vaccine. I resisted.
It was made in laboratories.
It felt like a biochemical attack on my body.
Yeah.
Like I've had plenty of flus and viruses and diseases, God forbid, in my life, and that was weird. It was like it was shifting phases constantly. It was like doing weird shit. It was obviously like synthetic.
Yeah,
and like they can't even admit that.
It was made in the Wuhan lab.
I think China says the U.S. did it. U.S. says China did it.
Well,
I think they both did it. So like,
well, we know
I mean, like,
we were paying them to do it basically, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry, we're not using this
by the way,
this technology."
My wife says we shouldn't say "we" when it comes to the U.S.
Yeah,
I'm not the U.S. government. I'm not like an evil.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they're doing, like so the U.S. government, not we. No, you did not participate in that.
Yeah.
Art Tracer. So I don't know if anyone's watching. It's probably because we didn't buy the plan to we might buy the plan by the next episode though, because it'd be good to see who's watching and who's not, and also to have comments. The comments are obviously not working. But yeah, this was the truth revealed about nothing. We didn't really get anywhere. Maybe we should start another show. Show, more pointed. All right, so that was the first episode. We're gonna regroup. All right. See you guys later.